Welcome to ISE's FX Options Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on the US dollar versus the major currencies, hosted by Jason Ayres, a top industry instructor and founder of OptionSource.net. Learn to trade your views on the strength or weakness of the US dollar.
And welcome to the ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for October 6th to the 12th. I'm your host, Jason Ayres, founder and president of OptionSource.net. As always, we're going to start with a look at our weekly U.S. dollar index. This is a great way to gain perspective as to how the U.S. dollar has been trading against a basket of currencies. We identified the U.S. dollar index playing into a key level of support, which represented a 38% retracement over this previous longer-term move. As you can see, we've had a significant bounce off of that and now find ourselves testing that 80 to 82 focal zone that we have been watching for quite some time now. Now, if we look at our MACD, we can see that it's suggesting a continuation to the upside. However, we see a little bit of divergence taking place with respect to our histogram, suggesting that, again, we need to be cautious of this 80 to 82 focal zone as being that key area of resistance. Now, we seem to see some renewed momentum to the upside as well. Again, we're looking at that 80 to 82 focal zone as being a key area. Any rejection off of that would likely play down into that 78 to 79 focal zone that we've identified here based on a natural retracement. Well, the overall strength in the U.S. dollar is clearly visible in our FX options pair values, the first of which is the CDD, the U.S. versus the Canadian dollar. As you can see here, we broke above that key resistance in at the 107 to 108 focal zone. That being said, any sort of continuation of this very strong trend to the upside is likely to meet with a little bit of resistance in at the 110 to 111. That has been an area that, as prices have been moving into these higher focal zones, we've identified as being a key area of resistance. If we look at our MACD, we can see that we are now crossing up again, confirming that strong trend to the upside. Our RSI is also suggesting a very significant move or momentum build up in the upside as well. Now, that being said, any sort of consolidation in off of this resistance area here and rejection would likely play back down into the 105 into the 106 focal zone, which represents a natural retracement area of this move that we've witnessed from 103 right up into that 108 focal zone. All right, let's take a look at the YUK, the US versus the Japanese yen. On first glance, we see we are still coiling within that sideways triangle, representing a significant amount of indecision between these two currencies. Now, we did suggest last week that if we saw a break below this 105.5 to 106 focal zone, we would likely test the 103.5 to 104. We did that within a day, but then very quickly moved back up into that 105.5, 106 zone there. We seem to still be continuing to play within that sideways triangle. If we look at our MACD, we can see again there's a significant amount of indecision as we just can't seem to pick that direction either upside or to the downside. Our RSI has also seemed to be flattening out, suggesting that there really is not a lot of momentum. That being said, we're looking for a breakout in either direction to be a possibility, so one may consider buying a put and a call at the same time, looking to take advantage of this indecision as this pattern comes to fruition. We look at it as almost like a spring, a coiling action that once it finally decides to make its move, usually does so very significantly in the direction that it's broken out of. Okay, let's take a look at the EUI, the US versus the Euro. The US dollar continues to build strength against the Euro. We've broken above this 71 to 72 focal zone that we identified as being a key area of resistance. The next logical target to the upside, should prices continue in that direction, would be the 75 to 76 focal zone that we've identified here. Our MACD is also confirming the strength in the upside move here that we've identified, and our RSI is also suggesting that we have continued momentum to the upside as well. Now, should prices consolidate and reject off of this area here at the 72 focal zone, a natural retracement would be back down into the 70 to 71 focal zone. Now, that's not to say that this would not then continue to the upside. Remember, nothing moves in a straight line. We have to be open-minded of the possibility of a rejection and consolidation before any continued move to the upside takes place. Let's now take a look at the BPX, the U.S. versus the British pound. Again, strength in the U.S. dollar against the pound as we play into this key resistance level here at 57 to 57.50. We can see that prices have actually rejected over the Thursday and the Friday in this area. Now, a break through this, the next logical target would be up into this 58.5 focal zone that we've identified here. We can see that our MACD is just crossed, suggesting the start of a possibly longer-term trend to the upside. Our RSI is sort of tapering off a little bit. However, we are above that 50% line, representing a strength in this this current trend to the upside. Now, should prices continue to the downside here, we are looking at a very key area within this 55.5 to 56 area. So look for some possible consolidation in our pair value in this area here. All right, let's take a look at the AUX, the U.S. versus the Aussie dollar. We saw a significant bounce off of our 116 focal zone to play right up into that 126, 127 area there. Now, if we look at our MACD, we've just nicely crossed over, suggesting that we are building some strength to the upside. Our RSI is also suggesting that momentum is building as we continue to reach higher highs. Now, that being said, should this continue from the 126, 127 zone, we're looking at 134, 135 over the next little while as being our key target to the upside. Now, should prices consolidate, a natural retracement would be down into this 123.5, 125 focal zone. So look for the possibility of that taking place before any sort of continuation into those higher highs. Folks, that's been your ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for October 6th to the 12th. I'm your host, Jason Ayres, founder and president of OptionsSource.net. Thanks for joining me this week. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Jason Ayres and to sign up for free FX Options trade alerts, just visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE FX Options, including our weekly webinar series, visit us at www.ise.com/fx. ISE FX Options can easily be traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.